If COVID never happened, what all would have you done in on past 4 months? Honestly, I'd probably just find something else to complain about. I would have some of the vision that I lost, because I spent months trying to find a neuro-ophthalmologist that would see me after I started going blind. That would be cool. But now I get to learn some interesting new skills like, find a new career that can be done when legally blind, and don't walk into things that you can't see. It's an adventure. Edit. Thanks everyone for all of the replies and internet points. It's been the highlight of my weekend being able to share and get such positive feedback. I needed that pick-me-up. I would have had to work only 40 hours a week instead of the 70 that I have. The stupid clients assume that since people are at home and under the fear of losing their jobs, we can overwork them to insanity. I would have gotten my tooth surgery done and over with. Was supposed to go to Burning Cat. Using the vacation for my dad's funeral instead. I hate 2020. Take my Vietnamese girlfriend to Vietnam for 2 weeks. She hasn't been there since she was 5 years old, and proposed to her. Thanks COVID P.S. I proposed here in the States anyway. She said yes. I would have taken a kick-ass trip to Japan, which would have been way outside of my budget. I would have got married today. Would have kept my job, gotten a raise, a sizable bonus, moved out of my parents' house, and ultimately taken my plunge into independence. Edit. To whichever kind soul gave me platinum, thank you, it's my first ever award. Now how can I spend this on weed? I would have gotten a full-time job at my internship after graduating. But they lost too much money during COVID to justify hiring me. Edit. Jesus Christmas, this comment did well. Thanks to everyone for sharing your stories. I got a job after graduating, but not everyone is as lucky. I would be working a part-time job in a failing weed shop which probably would have been shut down by now. Instead, I'm now the manager, have fixed nearly 100 issues I inherited from the previous manager, store sales have improved greatly, and I suddenly have a career. All thanks to the global pandemic. Yay? Edit. Holy hell, this escalated quick. I'll do my best to answer these questions during my downtime between customers. Edit 2. Location. Canada. How I became manager. COVID-19 hits and I am the first of the 4 workers to be laid off, during the morning of what I then expected to be my last shift. 1 week later. The original manager has children, so when everything was shut down the owner laid her off so she could apply for CERB, take care of her kids, and lose very little income. Assistant manager, now set to take over the store after cannabis is deemed essential, doesn't know or didn't care about CERB, makes a fuss about being laid off, and has not taken his training seriously. I receive a call from the owner asking if I would be willing to come back to work as he no longer trusts the AM to not do anything stupid. The next morning I am informed that AM has been laid off, and going forward I will be the acting manager. Edit 3. Issues include but are not limited to products being improperly labeled, categorized, and priced. She was pricing a handful of items at a 300% plus markup, mistakenly I hope? She also made over 70 inventory errors, making it look like either had 2 to 3 times the amount of individual products or the opposite side where it looked like we had only half of the product in our inventory. This amounted to the appearance of nearly $100,000 in missing product, which is frowned upon by the governing body, and led an inspector to be on my ass for nearly 8 weeks while I had to find explanations for the discrepancies. Edit 4. After roughly 3 months as acting manager, and running the store alone, I was made the permanent manager and the other budtender was brought back, so a few days a week I can focus on paperwork and not need to do everything by myself. Which has really helped lower my stress level. Honestly about the same thing. Edit. I feel accomplished, thanks. Quite honestly nothing. I'd still be working and saving all the money I can. I guess if there was one thing that would have changed is that my small business wouldn't have been forced to shut down. But come Monday I'm back open. The only difference is that we played D&D over Roll20, Discord instead of in-person. Edit. A lot of people are asking how to find a group and the answers from other users keep getting buried. So here you go. Roll20 apparently has a group finding function and a lot of people suggest RLFG. Hope this helps. I moved to New York City in February, a few weeks before the lockdown started. I had a whole binder of things I wanted to see and do and a job I was excited about. But I got laid off as soon as things got started and everything I wanted to do became impossible, and some of it is probably never coming back. I would have been taking the train to every station, catching impromptu shows, hunting down the best open mics, trying to pin down the best pizza and burger, putting together a D&D group, and traveling to other parts of the Northeastern US that I've always wanted to see. I had big plans for this year, and I'm so heartbroken that all I've experienced is an endless chorus of sirens. About the same thing, except I would have had my mom to joke around with. Now I joke to myself while her urn sits on a shelf in the living room corner. I would have gotten to go through my senior year of high school with her being there by my side in a literal sense. I would have no money at all, but no amount of money Social Security can give me will ever be worth losing my mom at 17. I feel awful about those who are younger than me that are going through the same situation as me. I would not be alive. I was planning to commit suicide. I would have been dead before the lockdown. But when everything shut down I had met someone and I immediately felt comfortable around them. And I was able to vent and release years of bottled up emotions. And she helped me work through things one at a time. Which started giving me hope that maybe I'm worth something. Edit. Wow, I did not know replies can get this overwhelming. There are so many. Thank you all for the kind words. I don't have many positives, so this helps. I would have continued working 60+ hours a week at a job I hate, getting paid a pittance, instead of focusing on what makes me happy. I've taken that time to write my first novel. I'm a month away from completing my first draft. I was supposed to go to Paris and Amsterdam in mid-March, that got cancelled. I took Sketch 101 and 201 at UCB in fall and winter. I probably would have signed up for 301. A few of my friends' birthdays have passed. We probably would have done day trips or gone away for the weekend for those. Oh, and I would have been working this whole time instead of collecting unemployment. I would have hopefully passed my driving test. I failed it in March and weeks later COVID hit the UK. Haven't driven since. I am not even sure I remember how to drive.